Hey guys, today we're going to rank all of the roles in Airship Assault. Alright, so first off we have the crewmen. They're essential for the team, especially in airship game mode, since they defend and fix the boilers, which keeps the team's airship afloat. They don't witness as much action as the raider or the pilot, so I'd recommend them to people who aren't that experienced at shooter games. Another thing about the crewman is that it has a whole bunch of hidden features which I think are overshadowed by the other roles. For example, working in the mortar pit, you go to the base, load the shells onto this vehicle, go to the mortars and load the shells. Then you can fire and get a whole bunch of kills if you're lucky. You can also launch an ally in case there's no spawn point in the middle, and it's also just fun to get launched into the sky as a raider. Now, to farm XP as the crewman, the best way to do it is probably by just fixing stuff or doing anything else besides killing enemies. For example, in the Isle game mode which I played on in the previous video, you get to repair tanks and use mortars. Now, everyone can use mortars, but you can also pick them up with your shovel, which you get after spawning in as a crewman, but only in this specific game mode. Shovels are also used to build structures like tents, which serve as a spawn point for you and your allies, and every time an ally spawns into the tent, you get 15 XP, but sadly the tent despawns after a certain number of spawns, or someone could just easily destroy it. It's very fragile. And the last thing I'd like to add about the crewmen is that they also have long-ranged weapons, so like the sniper, or even just heavy machine guns. Okay, now next up we have the raider. So the raider not only has their own weapons, but they also get explosives like placeable bombs or different kinds of grenades. But I think the main reason for it being popular is the glider. You can easily fly around with it and land basically anywhere you like as long as you're high enough. However, the glider does get taken away from you after landing, so make sure not to waste it. In the Isle game mode, you can still drive tanks and ships, but you won't be able to repair them like the crewman. And if you still want to build stuff, even as a raider, you can actually take a shovel from either some table, usually around the spawn areas, or from a tank. So I'd say this role is for people who like action and they're just good with their aim. Moving on to the last role, the pilot. You spawn in a plane which you can customize and choose which type of plane you want. Of course, you do have to unlock some of them for the currency of your faction, which can for example be crowns in the green team. Some planes also require you to first spend some points which you get from killing enemies before you actually spawn in with it. Your goal is to shoot down other planes, kill players on the ground, or damage the airships in spots like the engines. Usually you also get bombs or rockets in your armament too, so make sure to use those. Once you're out of ammo, bombs, or you're about to die, then try landing on top of the airship, which will start repairing the plane. If your plane is about to get shot down and there's no landing space available, then jump out of the plane, use your parachute and land somewhere. You'll only have a secondary pistol to defend yourself, so it's honestly useless to stay alive for too long. Planes also serve as a spawn point for your allies, so circling above the enemy airship is a good idea, even if you're not actively shooting at it. There's also a 45-second cooldown after you die as a pilot, which you'll have to wait for until you can spawn in again. And on the Isle game mode, there can only be 3 active pilots on the red side. If you're going to be a pilot, make sure you know the controls, since it's not as simple as just pointing with your cursor and going in that direction, but instead it's just a fixed WASD control system, with S going up and W going down. So that's it for today's video. I hope you guys have a great day, and goodbye.